The mind of a speedrunner is a complicated place, making decisions on the fly, juggling multiple tasks, and maintaining sharp mechanics throughout all the chaos. Today, we're going to take a dive into that mind, specifically my own, and I'm going to break down exactly what I'm thinking in every stage of our run. All analysis in this video is pulled from real-world MCSR ranked matches I played, so you get to see exactly how I manage the chaos in unique, unfiltered scenarios. Without further ado, let's jump inside the mind of a speedrunner. Part 1, the Overworld. For Desert Temple seeds, the route you take decides the pace of the overworld. When running towards the temple, be on the lookout for trees, any source of gravel from a river, cave, or mountainside, and a lava pool. The best route allows you to hit all three of these with the least amount of running possible. In this seed, I spawn right next to it with bad visibility, so I'll have to search around after I loot it. As soon as I exit the temple, I see these two trees perfectly placed where a TNT would blow up both and drop a ton of logs. After crafting my tools, boat, and bucket, I switch to third person to get a better vantage point of the surrounding terrain. I immediately spot fire in the distance indicating a lava pool and ocean in all directions. Running the shortest distance is always the main goal, but since the lava pool is located in the middle of the land, I'm unsure of the optimal place to get gravel, so I just beeline towards the nearest coast. After blowing up some gravel, I see that no flint dropped. If the lava pool was really close, I would just do a setup like this in the portal to mine enough gravel to get a flint. But since the pool is a ways away, I break gravel one by one as I run along. Here I get the flint drop when I'm right next to some pigs, so I go ahead and make the flint and steel and kill them to get some cooked pork chop. This is probably a misplay since I already have 38 rotten flesh and 2 golden apples, but since my opponent hasn't gotten the hot stuff achievement yet, I know I'm not behind and felt comfortable getting a bit more food. After making a standard portal, I prepare myself for the nether enter by placing my water, grabbing lava, setting my entity distance to 500%, lowering my render distance, and opening the F3 screen. The lava bucket is for dealing with mobs like hoglins, piglins, and wither skeletons. The 500% entity distance allows me to E-ray for the Bastion entities. The render distance being lower ensures I won't accidentally scan a far away unintended Bastion. And opening the F3 screen lets me see the entity counter that I'll be using in a second. As soon as the portal animation is done, I pause my game to let the nether chunks load. I'm watching the E counter in the top left corner, specifically the right number, which shows all loaded entities. And as soon as I see it jump significantly, I open my thin macro to search for a spike. The longer that number takes to spike, the further the Bastion is. Now I'm looking for the E counter's left number to jump up, which shows the entities on your screen, and the macro allows me to narrow my search FOV down quickly. The same effect can be done by lowering your in-game FOV to 30. As I spin and look for it, I see the number jump to over 50, which gives me the confidence the Bastion is in that direction. Part 2. Entering the Bastion. Swapping over to run number 2, I'm starting to approach the Bastion. As soon as I crest this terrain and get my first look at it, I have about half the information I need. The first item on the checklist of information is the Bastion type, and immediately I can tell this is bridge based on the unique structure and gold chalice that's just barely visible. The second item is the rampart variations, but since the terrain is blocking both of them from view, I know I'm going to have to adjust on the fly. After mining the chalice, I notice that the right rampart is a triple chest, and in that moment, I know I'm going to run a route called Soog, and that's exactly what I do. Here I meant to mine this basalt block to let up these bottom piglins, but I end up missing and not mining it. This throws off my route, and I have to adapt quickly. Normally, I would mine that block, make the piglin hole here, and loot the chest as the pigs flow in. But now that half the pigs can't run into the hole automatically, I quickly pivot and create a brand new hole to toss gold into, knowing I could get the stragglers later. Speedrunning is all about improvising in tight situations, and this is a great example of what you have to do when things don't go smoothly. Part 3. Leaving the Bastion. Jumping over to run number 3, where I've just finished routing a housing, I have a checklist of things I need to do in my head. First off, I need to ensure I have all the resources I need, like at least 20 obsidian, at least 2 fire res, around a stack or more of string, and at least a stack and a half of pearls. You can be lenient with the amounts of some of these, but the run goes most smoothly when you have at least those numbers. Second, you need to be thinking of getting to the fortress. This usually requires doing checks with your pie chart to locate its direction, but I spotted it when entering the Bastion earlier. You'll see me go and hang an ender pearl out of the side of the fort, and then my next thought goes towards crafting the things I need. I don't have an axe, so my number 1 priority is to craft one with the iron nuggets from trading. I miscraft and make a pick at first, but I quickly realize my mistake and make an axe instead. Ideally, I'd have time to make a bed before leaving the Bastion as well, but that overlap works best when your pigs are still trading, and mine have already finished. Seeing this, I unhang my pearl to make my way to the fortress. Don't mind the fact that I missed the pearl. Yeah, well, move on. Part 4. finding the Stronghold. Skipping forward to the blind split on seed 4, you can see I have 5 rods as I build my portal. Since I'm using a calculator called Ninja Brain to locate the Stronghold, I get in and out of a boat to get a very specific detailed angle that will be used when I throw my eye. After I enter the overworld, I place gravel and soul sand to create a corner on the portal, serving 2 tasks. First off, by running into this corner, I eliminate all my player model's movement, allowing the eye throw to be accurate. Second, it gives me a height advantage over the rest of the portal so I can see the eye no matter where it flies. Once I do my measurement, I see the Stronghold is 1600 blocks away and on the angle -163. Traveling in the Nether is 8 times shorter than the overworld, so 1600 blocks condenses down to about 200 blocks. As I go back into the Nether, I have 2 thoughts on my mind. I look at the angle at which the eye flew, which was -163, and I plan on doing a pearl hang if possible. Unfortunately, there's a skeleton here I have to deal with, and after I don't see a clear path to get a pearl hang off, I hear blazes behind me and plan on getting them first. Luckily, the first blaze I kill drops, so I can quickly make my way out of there. From here, it's just a matter of pearling to optimal terrain, managing my health, and holding the angle so I don't get too off course. I know 200 blocks translates to about 2 to 3 pearl throws in open terrain, so I have to gauge where I want to use each of those throws. I see this patch of netherrack and fortress bridge perfectly on angle, so I know I can toss a pearl with no problems whatsoever. For my second pearl, I aim towards this basalt terrain that seems to have open terrain ahead of it. After checking my coordinates, I see I'm only off 20 blocks X and 10 blocks Z, so I know I won't have to throw any more pearls or dig down into terrain. From here, it's just a matter of getting to the specific block chords and building my portal to enter the Stronghold. Part 5. The End. Jumping to the portal room on run 5, I have only 2.5 hearts left for a perfect 1 pearl hunger reset. Since I didn't pre-craft in the fortress, I have to do it here. But since my opponent is so far behind at this point, I just need to make smart, consistent plays. After getting the reset off, I break the bed and offhand my axe so the bed will fill in the 1 slot of my hotbar. Next, I dodge the silverfish, hop into the portal, and prep my hotbar for 0. If the match was close, or if I was on pace for a PB, I would probably switch my hotbar between pearls in the end, but once again, I'm just trying to make consistent plays. Upon entering, I immediately raise my render and entity distance, and I see that the dragon is flying to the front middle pillar. This is called a 1 in 8, since it has a 12.5% chance to pick this middle pillar rather than the usual diagonal one. My first pearl lands me next to the target pillar, and my next task is to pearl onto the side of it. As I pan over to aim at it, you can see me purposely curve my crosshair down under the endermen that are over on the side. For this specific 0 cycle setup, I'm looking to be bridging at Y91 so I can achieve a standing height of Y92 when I'm detonating beds. I aim at a spot I think will get me close to Y91, and from there, I bridge out to around 23 on X to do the finishing stack of the setup. From here, I look for my bow, don't see it, detonate my first bed, spot the bow on the second try, detonate my second bed, use the bow to use 2 beds in 1 rotation, and do another double for good measure to finish it off. It was technically a 4+1 since the last rotation the dragon died on the first bed, but now all that's left is for me to boat down and finish the run. Hope you enjoyed this look into the mind of a slightly above average speedrunner. If you want to learn about some of Minecraft's weirdest speedrun mechanics, click this video right here. Thanks for watching.